Wellbeing is a sense that all is well. We're confident of our place in the world and at peace with whatever that is. We're content with who we are, where we are, and there's a strong feeling of serenity and connectedness. We might have a deep sense of purpose, or we might be at a stage of being content with just being, living life from moment to moment with no particular direction. But however that shows up for us in our life, there's a strong sense in the moment of the perfection of how our life is and how we are. That's not to say that there aren't things we would change if we could, but we don't feel a resistance to how life is. We have a sense of the bigger picture, that every part of our life and our experience has its place. And well-being might be a feeling we yearn for when we're feeling overwhelmed with struggle and stress. Or it might be something we would like to encourage more of in our lives. Look through social media, and you'd be forgiven for assuming that well-being comes from what we do. Those activities that come under the category of self-care. Whether that's going for a walk along the beach, giving ourselves an evening by the fire with a good book, or spending money to go away and have a fabulous weekend in a luxury spa hotel. It seems as if it's the activities we do that create that feeling. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing these things, especially when we enjoy them as activities in their own right. But when we're doing them simply to achieve an end result, a feeling of well-being, of inner peace, this is when we're getting it the wrong way round. We start to believe our well-being revolves around doing tasks, and when we don't get them done, our well-being is in danger of taking a nosedive. The next popular place that well-being seems to come from is from material objects, from the things that we own. So we might tell ourselves that buying that fabulous new coat in our favourite colour, or replacing the sofa, will give us that warm glow of feeling great. And maybe they will for a short time, until we're on the lookout for the next new purchase. Sometimes it's not even the material objects we own, but the amount of money we have in the bank that provides our well-being. And clearly the amount we need for a sense of well-being differs from individual to individual. Some people would have that feeling from being in credit in their account, whilst for others it might take thousands or even millions. Sometimes we rely on our accomplishments to provide our sense of well-being. This could be a job title, a string of certificates, or a membership of an elite club. And this is why on being made redundant, people can sometimes feel suddenly lost and alone. Well-being also seems to come from relationships, and I'm certainly not denying that others in our life are important. There are lots of studies which show clearly how our social connections have an impact on our mental health. But as I want to show you in this video series, this isn't the whole picture. We could have a great sense of well-being if we lived in complete isolation and a shaky, dodgy sense of well-being, surrounded by others who love and value us. It's important, but not the whole story. So these are some of the places where our sense of well-being seems to come from. At times we can get caught up in believing that all has to be in perfect alignment in each of them for us to reach that sense of contentment. Ultimately, all of us discover in our heart of hearts that this isn't true. How do we know this? Well, there are plenty of examples of people with nothing who exude an aura of well-being that you can see in their eyes. You get a strong sense that they are content and happy with life. Conversely, we're all familiar with the film star who seems to have it all and resorts to finding well-being in drinks or drugs. We can still have some emotional attachment to all of these things I've talked about. But what I want to share with you in this video series is knowing where our well-being comes from, no matter the circumstances of our lives. The good news is that we don't have to look too far for the source of well-being. It's already part of who we are. This is the really important message of this programme, because well-being is a natural part of us and our nature. We don't need to do extra tasks to discover it. We don't have to run ourselves ragged trying to develop or maintain it. It's already there in us. It comes part of the human package. Maybe this seems a little strange to say when we're struggling with world events and circumstances, or personal problems play on our mind. Perhaps we're finding it difficult to sleep because of some niggling issue we're grappling with, or we're anxious about some future event. Tapping into our sense of well-being is a natural byproduct of a quieter mind. Take away all the misunderstanding about how life works and how the human mind makes sense and creates our feeling of reality, and you're left with a wonderful, deep feeling of peace and well-being. It's not about adding anything extra to our lives or homes. It's not about complication by adding more. It's about simplicity by stripping back. Even in the most trying of circumstances, the most difficult of episodes in our lives, all of us can point to moments when we've gasped at the beauty of a sleeping child, or shared a joke with a loved one, or feel taken out of ourselves by the power of an amazing view. All of us have these experiences. Perhaps it's more obvious when we're on holiday or with friends, but it is possible to tap into this more and more in our daily lives. Knowing it's there, knowing it's available for us, enables this to happen more frequently. We have that sense of well-being, however fleeting, and it wasn't created by doing anything specific. It was more that we seemed to fall into it. Now it may seem elusive, and the more you chase it, the further away from you it might seem. But I can promise you that this sense of well-being naturally develops as our mind settles down. What we're in effect doing is turning off the loud playing music and the shouting in the rooms of our mind, so that we can hear the gentle, quiet, always present whispering of our soul, which is always there. So in the next 3 videos, I'll share more about how to tap into this natural well-being that we all possess.